The desert stretches endless beneath a blazing sun. Heat waves shimmer across the horizon, and in the distance a shadow flickers across the dunes. It moves fast, sharp, almost invisible until the last moment. 65 million years ago, in the unforgiving heart of Central Asia, there lived a predator unlike any other, not the size of a Tyrannosaurus, nor the armored bulk of a Triceratops. Instead, it was small, quick, and lethal. Barely 2 feet tall, weighing less than 30 pounds, it might have looked harmless, but that illusion was the source of its terror. This was Velociraptor, a master of stealth and precision, armed with intelligence, agility, and a curved claw that could shred through flesh like a blade. In this desert theater of survival, power did not always roar. Sometimes it whispered, and that whisper was the sound of claws sliding through sand, of feathers rustling in the wind, and of a hunter that appeared and vanished like a ghost in the golden haze. Velociraptor first appeared around 75 million years ago, perfectly adapted for the unforgiving Gobi Desert. Its body was slender and built for speed. Long legs carried it swiftly across the dunes, while a stiffened tail, reinforced by bone rods, acted like a balancing pole, letting it twist, turn, and pivot in midair. Its skull was long and narrow, fitted with rows of serrated teeth designed to slice, not crush. Unlike heavy predators that relied on brute force, the raptor's advantage was precision. Every feature of its body worked like a weapon, designed not for clumsy power, but for exact, deadly strikes. In a world dominated by giants, Velociraptor survived by being something different, something faster, sharper, and cleverer. It could dash into narrow spaces, chase down nimble prey, or escape the jaws of a much larger hunter. For this predator, being small was not weakness. It was an edge, and in the brutal chess game of survival, the Velociraptor knew every move. But what made Velociraptor truly infamous was its weapon, the killing claw. Each foot carried a curved, sickle-shaped talon 3 inches long. Retractable like a switchblade, the claw stayed lifted while the animal ran, keeping its edge sharp for the kill. When the time came, the raptor leapt, driving the claw downward into the soft flesh of its prey. A single strike could sever arteries. A second could cripple legs or pierce deep into muscle. Unlike the bone-crushing bite of a Tyrannosaurus, Velociraptor's strategy was swift and surgical. It didn't need overwhelming strength. It needed accuracy. Imagine a desert chase ending in silence. The predator perched on its victim, claws buried deep, feathers shaking with every movement. This was not just a hunter, it was an assassin, armed not with brute force, but with a blade honed by millions of years of evolution. And every creature that crossed its path knew that one wrong step could end in a flash of talons. For decades, films and books portrayed Velociraptor as a scaly reptilian monster, but science revealed a different truth. Fossil impressions show quills and feather-like structures coating its arms, tail, and body. Velociraptor was not just reptile, it was something between dinosaur and bird. No, it could not fly. But its feathers were essential. They kept it warm in cold desert nights, gave balance when leaping, and may have flashed in bright colors during displays to rivals or mates. Imagine a raptor shaking its plumage in the golden light, feathers rippling like those of an eagle, while its eyes locked on a target. This was not a lizard. It was a feathered predator, sleek, intelligent, and efficient. The discovery of feathers changed everything. Velociraptor was not simply a killer from the past. It was proof that the line between dinosaurs and birds was thinner than anyone ever imagined. It was the bridge between two worlds, wearing its legacy on its wings. The desert is quiet. A lone Protoceratops, no larger than a sheep, grazes on low shrubs. Its beak snaps twigs, unaware of the danger hidden in the dunes. From the left, a Velociraptor creeps forward, its body low, claws scraping the sand. From the right, another circles, silent as the wind. The Protoceratops raises its head, senses something, but it's too late. One raptor bursts forward with a hiss, drawing the prey's attention. The other leaps from behind, talons flashing, feathers flaring in a deadly strike. Dust explodes. The chase begins. This was Velociraptor's genius, not in size, but in teamwork, in patience, in the ability to strike with perfect timing. In this moment, the desert transforms into an arena. Prey runs, predator pursues, and survival balances on a knife's edge. And for the raptor, that knife was curved, sharp, and ready to end the hunt in silence. This deadly struggle was not just imagined, it was preserved in stone. Paleontologists in Mongolia uncovered one of the most extraordinary fossils in history. Two creatures, locked in eternal combat, a Velociraptor and a Protoceratops, frozen at the moment of death. The raptor's claw was buried deep in the herbivore's neck, while the Protoceratops's beak clamped down on the raptor's arm. Perhaps they were fighting when a sandstorm buried them alive. Perhaps they fell together into a dune collapse. Whatever the cause, their final moment was captured forever. This fossil, known as the fighting dinosaurs, is proof that Velociraptor was no scavenger. It fought its prey directly, risking its life against powerful opponents. Every hunt was a gamble, every meal a life or death struggle. In these bones we see not just predators and prey, but a story of desperation, courage, and the brutal reality of survival in a world where every encounter could be the last. Velociraptor's true edge was not in strength, but in intelligence. Its skull reveals forward-facing eyes, giving it binocular vision, perfect depth perception for tracking fast prey. Inside, the brain was proportionally larger than many dinosaurs, suggesting quick reflexes, sharp senses, and even problem-solving ability. Some scientists believe they hunted in coordinated packs, using strategy instead of brute force. Imagine 3 or 4 velociraptors moving as one, circling an animal, darting in and out, pushing it toward exhaustion before striking the final blow. Prey would see shadows moving in the dust, hear claws tapping against stone, and know there was no escape. Against giants, the raptors had no chance, but against smaller prey, they were masters. Their intelligence turned the desert into a chessboard, where every step was calculated, every movement designed for victory. In Velociraptor, we glimpse something familiar, something closer to the cunning of wolves and eagles than to lumbering reptiles of old. The Gobi Desert was not forgiving. By day the sun scorched the land until the sand shimmered like molten glass. By night, freezing winds swept across the dunes. Water was scarce, vegetation thin, and survival brutal. Yet Velociraptor thrived here. It could run fast on little food, conserve energy where larger animals could not, and vanish into rocky shelters when storms approached. Fossils show it sometimes scavenged, snatching leftovers from carcasses killed by larger predators. Other times, it hunted small mammals or reptiles, darting out from behind rocks with lightning speed. The desert demanded cunning, and Velociraptor delivered. Its feathers shielded it from the cold nights, while its speed gave it an edge over rivals. Life here was never easy. Every day was a test of resilience, and every creature that survived had earned its place in one of the harshest arenas Earth has ever known. Velociraptor was one of its finest survivors. But Velociraptor did not rule alone. Sharing its world was Tarbosaurus, a massive cousin of Tyrannosaurus rex. 30 feet long, weighing several tons, it was the true giant of Asia. Against such a beast, Velociraptor stood no chance. A single bite could end its life. So instead, raptors thrived in the shadows. They scavenged scraps left behind by Tarbosaurus, sneaking in when the giant was distracted. They waited for chaos. 2 giants clashing over territory. A herd stampeding through dunes, using distraction as cover for their own survival. This balance defined the desert. The giant ruled with brute force, while the raptor ruled with cunning. Where size failed, intelligence prevailed. And in those moments when the giant moved on, when silence returned to the dunes, Velociraptor once again became the master of the sands, darting out from hiding to claim its share of life in a dangerous shifting ecosystem. For millions of years, Velociraptor thrived, but nothing could prepare it for the cataclysm to come. 66 million years ago, a mountain-sized asteroid struck Earth with unimaginable force. The impact released energy greater than billions of nuclear bombs. Firestorms raced across continents. Earthquakes shattered landscapes. Dust and ash filled the skies, blocking the sun for months, perhaps years. Temperatures plummeted. Plants died. Ecosystems collapsed. The giants starved first, unable to find food. Smaller hunters like Velociraptor followed, their prey gone, their world darkened into silence. It was not claws or brains that failed them, it was a disaster beyond all survival. In the shadow of this extinction, the Velociraptor disappeared. One of Earth's greatest predators was silenced, not by rivals, not by weakness, but by fate written in fire from the sky. Yet Velociraptor's story did not end. Within its bones lived the blueprint of survival. Feathers, agility, light skeletons, these traits endured through time. They did not vanish with extinction. Instead, they evolved. Today we see them in birds. The hawk stooping from the sky, talons extended like a raptor's claw. The eagle balancing on air currents with a tail like a rudder. The crow cunning and calculating, eyes always searching. Each is a living echo of Velociraptor. When you look up and see a hawk dive, you are seeing the shadow of a predator that once ruled the desert sands. Its body is gone, but its spirit lives on, soaring above us in every wingbeat. Velociraptor, the feathered assassin, was more than a dinosaur. It was a bridge between worlds, a survivor's legacy written across time, and in the skies, in the flight of every bird, the raptor still lives.